Hello, probers, and welcome to But It Was Aliens, the extraterrestrial comedy podcast where we aren't saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. I'm your host and lead investigator for this episode, Kevin the Grey, and my trusty co-host investigator is here with me, Mr. Granville Moonwalker. All well, Monfrere?
All well, son. Gonna have a good pod today. Good pod.
Indeed. Pod. In case you don't know much about us, we are two former MIBs who asked too many questions, so they kicked us out. Now, we're getting it out there, investigating alien shenanigans to determine for the safety of humanity whether it really was aliens. So basically, what we do on this show each week is take turns to probe a case to convince the co-host that aliens exist, or to make each other laugh at the absurdity of the probe. If we find aliens, we will warn the world. Would we actually?
Depends on the type of alien. I mean, if it's a smoking hot female alien, are you going to warn the world? Or are you going to probe?
A smoking hot in whose context? Like in the alien context? Because this thing could look like Chewbacca.
In your context.
Okay, so I'm banging Chewbacca.
So you're going to probe? Do you reckon Han and Chewie had
hand
a
jobs? Hand jobs all the way. They were far too close, and there were some long, lonely nights.
Ew.
But generally, I do, like in my head, I think we'd warn the world when we find one that's definitely aliens. But in reality, if a scary-ass motherfucking alien hopped up at the window there right now...
No one's going to believe us if we said...
Depending how close it was, I'd either fly kick it or leg it.
I was about to say I would take a picture of it with my phone so we actually have physical evidence.
Good shout. That's exactly what I'd do. I wouldn't leg it.
My phone is not with me.
Ah. Anywho, let me ask you a question, Moonwalker. What do you know about getting screwed by an alien? I'm talking straight up, thrown to the floor and ravaged.
In what way?
In a ravaging way.
Because you can get screwed by an alien as in they beat the shit out of you.
I'm talking about love making, heartbreaking, booty shaking, bow chicka wow wow.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, let me ask you another little question. Have you heard of the alien sex painter?
No.
A man who paints sex, sir.
So does he paint aliens having sex?
Why don't you make a guess and then we'll find out.
He paints aliens having sex. The aliens...
Aliens having sex with other aliens, you mean? Or do you mean
Humans.
aliens having sex with humans?
Yeah. Alien...
His
sex
neighbours, or...?
Painter says to me, alien sex painter. So he paints aliens having sex.
Okay.
And...
No, keep going.
Wait. If you were to paint aliens having sex with aliens, you would have to have a
fucker.
I was torn between swearing or sounding ridiculously posh. So you're either painting, like, your imagination must be off the charts if you are painting two aliens having sex with each other that aren't having sex in the traditional way that humans would.
Ooh, I hadn't even thought of that.
But
that's interesting.
If you did it in the way that humans would, aren't you just painting two costumed humans having sex?
Potentially. Do aliens have sex like in Avatar when they wrap their hair around each other? Is that what's going to be painted?
Essentially, isn't that Demolition Man?
What?
Have you not? So
I've seen Demolition Man, but not since I was probably about 18.
So
and
the
I'm
way
now
that
19.
they have sex in the future on Demolition Man is they put something on their head and it's connected by wires and it's all through their thoughts.
Yeah, but you can still get down and dirty.
Essentially, that is Avatar. They've just got rid of the head unit because it's just attached to them.
So you know how in planning this podcast we discussed how we wouldn't go off on massive tangents when it's a long episode? Oops.
Oops.
Anyhow, I'm going to jump straight into this one. Hard. Hard like a... Have we mentioned that this is a family-friendly podcast? You'll find no adult content here. So I'm going to jump deep into this story. Deep like a...
Stop.
Right.
We're talking alien sex. Penis is the first word that came to my head. Does that say a lot about me?
It says an awful
or a lot about
you.
this podcast.
Right. Let's jump in. Jump in hard. Like
Both feet.
Like an arm. David Huggins is the star of our file today. He's a New York artist. Average to look at, nothing immediately jumps out at you here to say that Huggins is anything but ordinary.
They all look ordinary.
But let me tell you, Huggins has lived what some may call an extraordinary life. So much so that Huggins' life has been the subject of a documentary called Love and Saucers.
What?
Love and Saucers.
Is that porn?
It does sound a bit like a space porn. What would alien porn actually be like?
It depends. Again, is it two aliens having sex like humans, or two aliens having sex however aliens have sex?
The first thing that's come to my mind is there's an alien ship parked in a park, and he's called the AA. No, not the AA. A plumber. That sounds more porny. And a plumber knocks on the ship and is like, "Hey, I hear you got a hole that needs plunging."
I have a question. Does he have a moustache?
Always. Every time. And curly hair.
Do you hear that creepy 70s porn music?
There is sax and jazz playing in the background.
Always.
Absolutely. Zorb's bending over to pick his probe up off the floor. The plumber's checking out his 6 asses. Ooh, I don't know which hole I need to fix first.
Oh, this sounds so grim.
You'd buy it.
Maybe. So, alien porn, how does it work?
We haven't even got into the story yet, and we're like 10 minutes in. So,
I just want to know how these aliens, like...
have you not seen an alien porn before?
No.
Have you ever seen like Hulk porn?
No.
No, me neither. So Huggins claims that he was first visited by visitors when he was 8 years old. So that's 9 years of courtship, I guess, because guess what happened when Huggins was 17?
I don't know.
Guess.
No.
Guess.
No.
This is the rule.
Okay, before I guess,
Yeah.
I have one question.
Okay.
Have you seen Hulk porn?
Guess.
Right, I'm guessing
Guess away.
that Huggins encountered sex with an alien.
Encountered sex with an alien or
Yep.
saw aliens having sex? I need specific.
Both.
So he's saying he walked into 2 aliens having, or several aliens having sex,
And joined
then
in.
joined in. Oh, that's
He
pretty
was
good.
17. Teenage boys are
Yeah.
randy.
Yeah,
as-
yeah, okay. So that may or may not be correct. As a child, Huggins would see the aliens and sometimes tell his parents. One day, his parents got sick of Huggins' stories
blame them.
and gave him a whooping. Huggins states that he told the aliens about the whooping and they advised him not to tell his parents anymore.
What? So, he sees aliens having sex.
Wait. I didn't say having sex. You've jumped ahead.
He sees aliens having sex.
No, at 9 years old, he was seeing aliens. He told his family about them, and they got sick of it, so they beat the crap out of him.
Oh, I thought he saw them having... We've spoke so much about
Yeah,
sex
that
so
was my
far.
fault for jumping forward to when he was 17. But at the moment, he's 9.
So 9-year-old Huggins is seeing aliens.
Indeed.
Goes and tells his
Yes.
parents.
Yes, he is.
They kick his ass.
Yep. And the aliens tell him to stop telling his parents.
So is he communicating with the aliens?
Yeah.
When he was 9 years old?
He's literally been seeing them and talking to them, yeah.
Oh, lucky bastard. Okay, carry on. I'm
So,
intrigued.
Any idea where it's going yet?
He paints them having sex. They're like voyeurs. Voyeur aliens.
That's so dirty. So when Huggins was 17, he was walking in the woods and saw a woman sitting under a tree.
Hold on, sorry. Would they be voyeurs? Because they're not watching. He's watching.
Maybe they're all watching each other.
Maybe they like
It's
to
like
be
a jerk circle.
So they like to be
And
watched.
Hulk is in the middle.
Be angry! By the end of this podcast, you need to tell me if you've watched Hulk porn.
What's Hulk porn?
But,
Do you reckon it actually exists?
so if he's, as an adult, painting aliens having sex, that makes him the voyeur, and they like to be watched.
I feel we need to continue with the story now, but hold on to that thought.
Continue?
Okay. So when Huggins was 17, he was walking in the woods and saw a woman sitting under the tree. The woman got up and came towards him. It was at this point that Huggins felt himself growing a raging boner. I'm talking a hard dick, like you've never seen. Now, I know you've seen many Todgers in your time, Moonwalker, but this was like a baby's arm holding an apple aloft.
Who's done that before?
Like rock hard boner.
Like, I mean, we've all been through this before.
Someone puts Hulk porn on the TV before you know it.
Is this like when you're in high school and out of the blue you just get a raging boner and you just pray that you don't get called up to the front of the class because you're going to get embarrassed? Yeah. I mean, it would be embarrassing then. To be fair, 13-year-old you might get embarrassed. Yeah. I mean, 17-year-old you is going to be like... dun, 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 dun. Go, gadget dick. I got a rock cock.
So Huggins says that he could not get his pants down fast enough. That may be because they were tent-poled on his package. Huggins fell back on the ground, and the alien lady climbed on top of him, riding his freaking brains out. Not much conversation or foreplay. As Huggins reaches his climax...
2 seconds in.
Which he says
17.
He says was painful. Now this is important. His exact words are quite painful and very intense. Huggins then looks in the alien lady's eyes and passes out as she and the insect being leave.
What insect being?
Oh yes, son. So Huggins has been seeing beings at this point in the story for 9 years. The lady he's just lost his virginity to is a female extraterrestrial named Crescent. But Crescent isn't the only alien to have visited Huggins. Oh no. There's also the sexy named Hairy Guy. This chap looks like a really little Bigfoot. Yellow eyes. It was one of these little chaps Huggins saw first as an 8-year-old. Crescent is also often accompanied by the Greys. Now, I know you've heard of these guys before. Human-like, big heads, big eyes, grey. Then there is a tall guy. He and Crescent talk to the other creatures, and he has a hair bun. Definitely a he, though. Then there are the leaders, whom Huggins described as insect-like, and whom are often present during the sexual encounters. So these guys basically look like big grasshoppers, Jiminy-Cricket perverts. I literally could not tell you why they are always there when he's banging, but they are. Describing Crescent, Huggins says that she had a nice body, and the only thing different about her was that she had large eyes and long fingernails. She's also been described to resemble Gene Simmons from Kiss with tits. So before we get any deeper... What are you thinking at this point?
Unfortunately, Gene Simmons with tits. Oh my god. Oh, shit. Right, so... Right, I have several questions.
Yeah, go on then.
Why are these Jiminy-Cricket perverts always there when he's having sex? So
I've probed this one.
The
Jiminy-Cricket voyeur pervert.
They're voyeurs.
They're always there when he's banging, and I've probed this so deep. I've researched so many articles. I've watched interviews. I've watched a freaking documentary. Honestly, if it's there, I've seen it.
This is going to sound very, very weird.
No, I didn't get a boner.
Do you have photos? I want to see Jiminy-Cricket.
So I said, as we began probing, that Huggins is an artist. Huggins has been painting these bastards since 1987. I've got a little bit of visual evidence for you today, Mr. Moonwalker. Would you kindly describe these fine paintings for our listeners as you gaze upon them, good sir?
Oh, I need to reach across. So you're asking me to reach around right now.
Reach around! I got it! There you go, you've taken my MIB device.
So, is this Huggins laying in bed?
Yes.
Right, so I've been handed some documents which show paintings by Huggins of him in bed as a 9-year-old with 4 grey alien beings dressed in blue overalls.
Wearing overalls.
Just watching him while he lays in bed.
Yeah, scroll on to the next one. Now
3 of them, 1 floating in the air, 1 wrapped seductively around his leg, while the 3rd holds him from behind. I'm going to scroll to picture number 3.
Absolutely. Describe what you're looking at, please.
So I'm I'm going to ask this question.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is Huggins.
Yes.
So, this is a much older Huggins now.
Mm-hmm.
Naked.
Yes.
With a cricket-like creature guiding him towards a door.
Jiminy-Cricket pervert, yes.
I'm guessing that's a door. It looks like a white entrance, which is a door-like shape. Mm-hmm. Picture number... What?
Yeah.
Okay, so picture number 4 looks like... So it's a heart shape, and within the heart is a human body, which looks to have a penis in the middle of its chest. Now, you cannot see the tip, so you were just seeing half of the member.
The member.
And the face on this human body, which looks male-like, is a female alien, I'm guessing.
Yes. Do you have any more evidence in front of you?
I'm going to turn to the next page. So I have 2 pictures in front of me. I'm guessing the one on the left. I'm guessing the one on the right is Huggins.
Correct.
Right. So I have a kind of a screenshot of Huggins in real life. He's old, grey beard, grey hair, spectacles. On the left is a picture painted by him of him being fucked by an alien.
Can you describe the position?
So, yeah, I will, because being fucked by an alien sounds like it's taken up the rear. He's laying down on his back with an alien in a blue dress riding him with long black hair.
Can you see any space titties?
You can just about make out 2 space titties.
Is she clothed?
Yeah, I said in a blue dress.
Please look at the next picture.
Okay, next picture.
Describe what you see, please.
Okay. Again, I have... Oh, it's not even 2 pictures, it's 1 picture. He's holding one up. So I have a picture. It's Huggins in a studio, I'm assuming, with a bunch of paintings on the floor. He's holding up a painting, which, get this, is a naked human body.
Yes.
Of a female.
Yes.
With the alien head. With the long dark hair. Cupping her titties.
Her space titties.
Well, they look quite human. But then if she is from space, they are space titties.
So now, having seen the paintings, what are you thinking?
This guy likes space titties.
Who wouldn't? He's been banging them.
But the body's quite masculine.
Yeah.
Or if the body wasn't masculine, his art skills are terrible. And he's just painted them that way.
Okay.
Is there anything else I need to look at on here?
No, you can place the MIB viewing device on the floor. So not only did Huggins lose his virginity to a female extraterrestrial, but for 60 years he continued to have intercourse with his alien bang buddy, Crescent. I'd say that this is a long-term booty call, but Huggins maintains to this day that Crescent gave birth to a child. I found some conflicting stories on this actually, because Huggins claims to have fathered not 1, not 10, but hundreds of half-human offspring. Some accounts say that they are all with Crescent, and if that's the case, I cannot begin to imagine the state of her lady cave.
Is she classed as a lady?
Her alien lady cave.
Sausage Alley.
With all the respect in the world, if you've had hundreds of children, not only could you no longer use a trampoline, Jesus, if you even bent down to tie your shoelaces, you'd probably pizzle down your leg.
So, I have a question.
Yes?
Do aliens give birth the same way that humans do?
In general, I wouldn't say yes, but in this instance, potentially.
Seeing the pictures, yeah, I would also assume they did. I just wanted to ask though.
So, other accounts state that there have been several alien mothers to Huggins' children, which I can't imagine Crescent would be too happy about. Even more so if she saw what he let them do with him on a table into a bowl. Here's another painting for you.
What? What is that?
I've just provided Mr. Moonwalker with one of Huggins' paintings. You may notice that there is a table with a bowl on it. In front of the bowl, we have a naked Huggins and two
He's being jacked off into the bowl.
If you notice... Yeah, go on.
I'm going to describe this picture for you.
Mm-hmm.
He's stood in front of this... It's not really a bowl. It's quite bigger than a bowl. Like a
chalice?
Pedestal with...
Oh, no, the pedestal. The bowl is on top. If you look really closely, you can see the bowl.
I thought that was just her hand over his penis with semen coming out.
So, yeah, her hand is over his penis. There is semen. He has painted semen, but there's a circular bowl-type crevice.
I'm sure it's just not where the semen lands.
If he's got that much semen...
There's aliens in this picture.
Yeah, but that's still his semen.
I'm sure he believes there's that much semen.
Like, I can accept the aliens, but that amount of semen...
Okay, I'm going to describe this picture for you. There is one female alien with her arms around him quite seductively.
That's got to be
watching, while the other one tosses him off. In the background, there are 5 other female aliens watching this, and right in front, like he's orchestrating it all, is the Jiminy-Cricket motherfucker.
Jiminy frickin' pervert cricket. He's literally painted cum.
I mean, I don't...
My gosh.
Is that his arm around her? It is, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
So is he enjoying this?
Well, to be fair, he's literally coming for England right there. Well, I say England, he's not actually English, is he? He's coming for the whole of the USA, son. Of course he's enjoying it.
Is there ever a time you do come and you don't enjoy it?
Hold that thought. So rolling back slightly, I'm guessing this means that you can tell these guys apart if Huggins knows who's who when they visit to know all 100 babies are his without asking any questions. You know when I see a group of ants? I'm not like, hey, this one is Bob, and hey, that's Jim with the snow cone. I didn't find any elaboration on whether the babies were human-esque or more pale-faced with big eyes like Crescent, long fingernails, or maybe they come out as little pervert crickets. Also, full disclosure, I did read a second article saying that the number of offspring was closer to 60. Alien child support must be very relaxed regardless.
So what do you think the kids look like?
I think they were probably a mixture of Huggins and Crescent.
Did he see them all? So does he know which 100 kids are his? Has he named them all? Do they grow at the same rate as a human?
I don't know that.
Has he had sex with his children?
Oh, that's a really bad thought. So Huggins was once taken through a portal to a room filled with babies and was made to touch every single one, not in a bad way. So one of Huggins' children were dying and Huggins was brought to see them. Huggins says that there was a surge of static electricity the first time he touched the hybrid baby and it was healed. After that, the visitors begun presenting every baby to Huggins to touch. He woke up the next morning absolutely spent and slept all day. The next night, a Jiminy-Cricket took Huggins to a room filled with light. Huggins entered, and the next day he felt amazing again, full of energy. Huggins has been asked what the alien children eat, and he said that he remembers one time eating a chocolate-like substance. So Huggins eats alien baby food, it appears. He said it had a strange aftertaste. What would you ask Huggins about his experiences?
Did he eat shit?
Why would he have eaten shit?
Chocolate-like substance?
To be fair.
Strange taste.
He could have eaten alien shit. I don't know why or how it would have happened, but okay. So, no, go on.
Sorry, what I would ask is he now some kind of healer?
Not for humans, but for alien ill babies, apparently.
So he can heal all his hybrid children just with a touch.
Well, I don't know that they were all ill, but he was made
No,
to
I said
touch.
all his.
Yeah. Well, even so, I don't know that all 100 or 60 of his were ill, but he was made to touch them all for potentially health benefits, yes. So Huggins has been asked if alien vagina feels different to human vagina, and said that there isn't much warmth, but the senses are subdued when you're with the aliens, so the intense orgasm you'd normally feel is toned down.
Boo.
Huggins says the orgasm is toned down. Earlier on, he described it as painful and intense. Have you ever had a toned down, painful, intense orgasm?
Cannot say that I have. I mean,
just they don't go together, do they?
he's also changed his story there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, toned down, you think it's just
Intense and toned down are polar opposites. I can't think of any context in which you'd have both.
But then, in saying painful and intense, did he just mean it was intensely painful? And just didn't
And toned down?
And didn't say intensely painful at the same time.
Intensely painful and toned down still don't go, for me.
They kind of do, if you're talking in terms of... can't think of the word I'm trying to say here.
Bullshit.
No. Like, excitement. Excitement is not the word I'm trying to think of. I just cannot think of the word at the moment.
So what you're saying then is that you are fully on board at this point?
No, I'm just trying to understand where this story is coming from.
So Huggins has been asked in interviews if he trusts these visitors, and he says that he does, absolutely. When asked why, he said there was the incident with the snake under the tool shed. He's stated that...
What? Snake shed.
Yep, that's it. That's all he said, and I didn't ask any questions. Questions lead to trouble, son. Ask no questions and hear no lies. I've already been kicked out of the Men in Black headquarters. We've got to keep this stuff covert, on the down low.
Snake tool shed.
What do you think happened with the snake in the tool shed?
Is it a metaphor?
For?
Penis and vagina?
He stuck his snake in the tool shed. I hadn't even thought of that.
Snake slithered into the tool shed. But then, what's that got to do with trusting aliens?
Gosh only knows. But moving
Unless...
on. Oh, go on. Fire that brain fart.
Was this guy married beforehand?
God damn it. Hold that thought. So moving on, Huggins has stated that this is all up to him. A hairy guy once came into his room and asked if they could use his body, and Huggins said to use it as much as you like. But this was after sexual encounters had already taken place.
Were they using his body to have sex with the aliens?
Pretty much. And
So
they asked for consent afterwards.
if they were using his body to have sex with the aliens, is that maybe why it was toned down and painful and intense? He wasn't feeling the joy of the orgasm. They were.
But
to him, it felt painful.
I can't get my mind around how that would work.
Right, so they are using his body to have sex. He's expecting it to feel like an orgasm. It's not. It's toned down, so it's not anywhere near as excitable or like the experience of the orgasm isn't as powerful as he would expect it to be. Okay. But instead, it's painful and intense.
I'm glad you're on board, because
I've solved this shit.
Huggins has been described as a kind, honest and humble man, but he does sound a little confused at times. The man is in his mid-70s now and describes his time with Crescent as a love affair, but also states that he was used in their breeding program. Huggins does have 1 or 2 0% alien children, so he appears to have cheated on Crescent at some point. He's also been divorced about a decade, which may be due to the 100+ affairs. Interestingly, Huggins has never been institutionalised. He's not on any medication. As I say, he's now well past 70, and since the time Huggins was first visited, he has never been ill, physically.
Never? Not
Never.
even common cold?
Hasn't even had a cold. The man is invincible.
But the thing is, if you have a cold, you deal with it. You don't go to the doctors because you've got a cold, so therefore it wouldn't be recorded.
But you have a cold. He hasn't.
But how do you know that?
Because he's honest and trustworthy.
He's talking out of his ass.
You've just turned on him. What?
The man says he's never had a cold. I don't believe that shit. Everyone's had a cold.
Right.
And they came to him from the time he was 9 years old. I don't believe he's never had a cold. He's played out in the snow. Been out in the rain. Jumped in puddles. He has sex with aliens on grass.
He's got all kinds of STDs you never heard of.
Is that why he's not been ill? Because he's already ill. He's too ill to be ill. This guy's sick.
He's illmatic.
But, so, for someone that is meant to be trustworthy, he's clearly cheated on either...
Crescent or...
I was just about to say, is there a name for this alien?
Crescent or his Earthwife, yeah.
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 But can you trust a man that's had 100 affairs?
Indeed. So Huggins reports that he has met with other abductees like himself and that they are all creative, which he thinks is associated with the aliens. Huggins says that painting triggers his memory of events. He'll be painting one event and another will come to his mind. So that's basically where we're at with Huggins. Single, older gentleman, possibly amongst the most prolific studs in history.
So he's a racehorse.
He's bred like a racehorse.
But, although he is bred like a racehorse, this is bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why I think that right now.
Okay.
And this isn't my final thought. This is my current thought.
Shoot. Like Huggins.
So he's reported that he's met with other abductees like himself and that they're all creative. Mm-hmm. So they all have creative imaginations. And that he starts a painting and then another memory comes to him.
Yep.
So essentially, he starts a painting, gets another idea for a painting, paints the next one, gets another idea for a painting, paints the next one.
Indeed. I call bullshit. Are you?
Sorry, I'm going to let you carry on.
Okay, so in the interest of science, I guess there are three possibilities here. Huggins' work is the work of a madman. I'm talking bat-shit crazy, a wears gloves on his feet and slippers on his hands kind of guy. Possibility 2. Huggins was victim to childhood trauma and has spent his whole life protecting his mind from the truth. Now, frankly, that's absolutely horrid, so I'll move swiftly on to possibility 3. It's all true. I do think there's perhaps an element of Stockholm Syndrome in his presentation, in that Huggins is clearly being used by the aliens, but seems to have de-vilified them and almost sees his abuse as a lucky experience. What are you thinking?
I think it's quite dark if it's number 2. Like, that is...
Yeah.
That is horrifically dark.
Some heavy stuff, yo.
I kind of don't want to think about it now.
Mm-hmm. And
in not wanting to think about it, you're forcing me to think about it.
Forcing you, like what happened to Huggins?
Son.
No, jokes aside, because you shouldn't joke about such dirty stuff. Of all the articles and the videos and whatnot I've watched on this case, no one's coming up with that idea. Like, people either just believe him or think he's full of crap. So, in researching this one...
I feel a little bit sad for him now. Because I'm now more drawn towards that second one.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy.
So, in researching this one, I came across some stuff from a Dr. Carla Turner, who accused aliens of sexual violation through deception. This good doctor explained that the alien may take on the form of the spouse of its victim, or appear as a celebrity, saying that this can help the alien to convince their target to have bestial sex with animals. So you could say that Huggins actually got off lightly in some ways. There's no reports of him shafting a cow. But Huggins didn't need a celebrity to whip his dick out either.
Why cow? Sex with animals. So, are you saying that this doctor thinks that aliens are getting people to have sex with animals?
Yep.
Why? Are they like a sick voyeur?
Right, I just want to be very clear before I say this. This is not something that I've ever known anyone to do. But I've heard stories that people will watch animals have sex.
And get aroused?
There's dirty movies and stuff about it, isn't there? So what's to say that aliens don't do this with humans? They wouldn't even necessarily need to get aroused. It could be like a comedy thing.
I've never watched someone have
Neither
sex
have I, but I've heard of it.
and gone, ha ha ha, they're having sex.
I can remember when we were in school.
That's a lie.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a lie. I remember one night when we were out and we walked past an alleyway and saw people having sex and look at them. So that's a lie. That's happened.
Right.
Dirty bastards. It's freezing cold.
When the need arises, son. So linking to Dr. Turner, there is a popular theory in that aliens visit our planet to create hybrid alien super children, which sounds all fine and dandy until you remember these grey mother truckers tend to stick their probes straight in the bumhole.
Oh.
That is not how you breed, you twisted bastards. Whitley Strieber was a good man, and now he isn't shit right for 15 years. In the case of Huggins, I guess this could be a possibility though. I would query, however, what about humans is super? You have aliens who are capable of space travel, unfathomable calculations, multilinguistics, interspecies breeding. Then you have humans capable of drinking the milk of other species, taken via pulling their nipples. Nips meant for their own young.
I suppose you say he hasn't shit right for 15 years. But I bet his shit's easier.
So I may have held out on you a little bit earlier. In the interest of science, it is my duty as a legitimate former Men in Black and extraterrestrial prober to put forward one final alternative explanation for these stories. There's a period between being asleep and being awake where the body can find it difficult to differentiate between being woke and being asleep.
Woke as fuck.
The body can also experience a paralysis-like state during these times. Now, I don't know about you, but for some people out there, the sexy dream is quite a common experience. Is it possible that Huggins, being an artist, has a particularly lucid mind? This man could be dreaming of space tits night after night.
So,
Sir?
I don't know if it's true that creatives will dream more. Mm-hmm. I dream all the bloody time. Like
All the bloody time.
all the bloody time. There can be nights where I have like 3 or 4 different dreams, and I'll remember them when I wake up. Mm-hmm. One which has always stuck with me for being quite lucid and vivid is actually pretty disgusting. I killed my dad and my brother with a pair of garden shears and woke up to the sound of sirens with the police coming after me. And it took me a minute to realise that wasn't true.
What the Sherlock, son?
Because I have no father or brother.
I'm just going to check for shears around the place.
Now, that's pretty bloody creepy.
That is pretty bloody creepy.
But maybe they were there.
I may have possibly slightly missed off one final explanation or motivation. The man is a painter. He didn't, but I suppose you could argue that he made the story to help sell his paintings for profit, which he didn't.
Oh, so, well, you said he didn't, so it's not a money-making scheme because he hasn't sold anything.
Precisely.
So some artists, they're not that fussed about selling their work
Money,
while they're alive.
Yeah.
They want that.
It's the creative process.
They want that fame after they're gone.
So Huggins isn't interested in money. Moonwalker, I'm now sending you a link. If you'd like to click this and be directed to Mr. Huggins' shop.
loveandsources.com shop.
Yeah. If you'd like to click the link. Do you have it open?
It's currently... What the hell?
Is it open?
It's open.
Yep.
Those are some creepy eyes staring at you.
Which one would you like to buy?
No. No.
Why are you knowing?
Is this a lie?
No, this is genuine.
Everything is sold out.
Yeah.
So on his page, he has 8 items for sale. 6 of them are paintings. 1 is a poster. 1 is a DVD. The poster is $29.99. Sounds like I'm advertising for him here. He can go fuck himself.
Whoa!
His DVD... Well, he hasn't paid me.
So if someone hasn't paid you, they have to go fuck themselves? What sort of person are you?
Take note.
We're doing this for the good of humanity, son.
If you want me to shill your shit, pay me. So, his DVD is $15.99, and every painting is oddly $64.49. Everything
I think they're reprintings of the originals.
is sold out.
To be fair, when I looked a few weeks back, not a lot was sold out, but there were one or two available.
Oh, it's a little hairy guy. I was about to say, what the hell is that one in the bottom? That little hairy guy does not look
Do you know
little.
what? I didn't put that photo on the things I showed you earlier, hoping that he'd grab your eye now. Little Bigfoot.
It
Little
really
Bigfoot.
is. And in the one where he's walking home, why is he wearing a dress?
Why not? Maybe it's a nightgown.
So I've blown up the picture of him walking home.
Gone on an absolute tangent. You've got into it.
He's in a blue dress.
He's currently ordering the photo.
Do not know if that is meant to be the top of an alien head behind him.
Yeah.
But there is also an alien hiding in the grass in front of him. And by the looks of things, these are male aliens because they haven't got black wigs or hair on like the females. So is he about to get...
I couldn't possibly say.
I don't want to know. Because if this is number 2, this is dark. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm an investigator.
Prober.
Not a pervert.
So I have one more thing to show you before we make a decision. Huggins appeared on This Morning, the popular British morning TV show. Here's the footage of Huggins telling his story.
So your first alien encounter was at the age of 8. What happened?
Bust the alien crescent.
Living on a farm, and I was behind our barn playing at the base of a tree. And I heard someone say, "David, behind you." And I turned around and there was this little hairy guy coming out of the woods straight toward me. And his eyes were like glowing. And he scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what to think of him. So I scrambled back.
At that age, I would have licked
I ran
it.
to the barn and I looked back. And
Oh, he did.
Was,
But then he looked back.
he had turned and was going back into the woods.
I would know where I was going.
And I went back out to the barn.
So something happened in the woods.
And I was looking
Remember
at the
Theory
edge of the
2?
trees, and suddenly the little hairy guy stepped out from behind a tree.
Hairy man from behind the
And I
tree.
turned and ran.
Yep.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's one of the things that obviously that most people would have done. But this was the beginning of many encounters with many different kinds of aliens.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of them, one of the aliens that came to see you, you became to have a relationship with. This wasn't
They
just
want to
this
get to
opportunity
questioning the
you
banging.
came to.
Yes, I did.
And this is Crescent, the alien Crescent,
Yes.
who wasn't
You're right.
little and hairy like the guy that you'd seen before.
She was
this
cleanly
a
shaven.
different form of alien. What does she look like?
Smooth.
Well, she has I
Titties.
think she wears a wig. I'm not really sure, but she has black hair, large black eyes, a very pale face.
I feel really sorry for this guy.
The body looks quite human. And I think she has rather long fingernails.
Why do you think an alien would wear a wig?
I think for aesthetic reasons.
You painted hundreds of pictures of your encounters with the aliens. Some of them terribly graphic, but they've shown you. You say that you fathered hundreds of alien babies, and they've shown you them.
Yes.
And so
And that's an image of them. That's what you said. They were
all in glass cases on top of each other.
Yes, they were stacked on top of each other.
And so why do you think they chose you as our representative to the universe, a guy who works in the deli counter in Hoboken in New Jersey? What is it about you?
Because I'm hung.
I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was a little kid playing at the base of a tree. And they saw me. I have no idea.
And do they mind you telling everyone what they look like and that they come and visit you? I mean, why don't they just show themselves to everybody?
You know, that's something I would like to know. I guess they
Have
want
you
to
asked?
do it on a very gradual level. That's all I can say.
Haven't you asked them?
I think if they...
Sorry, have you asked them?
No, I haven't. It's like I was always there for a reason. And I would do whatever they asked me to do.
And do you still see Crescent?
I saw her about 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh wow, we've just shown a picture of her.
Why
You
didn't
had to
you-
blur it out.
Do you have
This is on morning television. They're showing the space titties and they've got to blur them.
Why not take a photo and then it's proof?
I don't know. I just never have.
Would you do that for us next time you see one?
They want a photo.
If I can, yes. If I have a camera and if they tell me about it beforehand, yeah, I would do it.
Well, that would
So
be
it's funny,
fantastic.
'cause
Here's
you're
a weird
74
click.
Now, your
Weird
first alien
pop
encounter
sound
at
to
the
his
age
voice.
Of 8. So they've
Yes.
known you, especially
Could be false
Crescent,
teeth.
they know each other very
He's
well
been
now.
groomed,
For
hasn't
any
he?
sort of relationship, you might like a little sort of keepsake, like a little picture by your bed.
Right, yes.
Thank you.
He
very
liked
much
that
for joining
question.
us Today, David. It's lovely to meet you. It's fascinating, and we wait for the photo to arrive if you ever manage to get one.
You can tell her she can keep her clothes on.
Okay, good enough.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you have it. I've given you the hard facts today. I've given some alternative theories. I presented you with evidence, including paintings. You can't fake a painting, son. I've given you video on national TV. What are you saying? Are you saying that it was aliens?
No.
Whoa. That was very quick. You didn't even think about it.
I feel quite disturbed.
You sound quite disturbed. So you saying it was aliens?
I really think he went through something quite
Oh.
traumatic. I just feel for him, not feel him.
You need to go on the record. Are you saying that it was aliens?
Son, in his mind, it was aliens. I don't believe it was aliens. I think some horrible stuff was done to him, and to deal with it, his subconscious has turned it into aliens.
Ah, balls. I'm not saying that it was aliens. I really wanted to go with this one. Huggins seems so genuine. He actually comes across as modest at times. It's almost romantic if it wasn't so creepy that the lady he first met as a child ended up being his non-aging intergalactic life partner. I know you could argue that Huggins has fully committed to a money-making scheme for his art, but I'm not even saying that it was the case. Although it does piss me off when these guys start showing up at conventions and making movies about themselves. But Huggins doesn't really come across like he sees himself as special. Huggins sounds a little like an elderly Mitch Hedberg and just isn't immediately dislikable so much as slightly bonkers. Huggins actually came to prominence not by himself. A neighbour was round one day and noticed all the alien paintings in the back room. Huggins did not seek fame or money to begin with. I'm slightly worried for this man too, and the life that he may have experienced. Who's he covering for? Was there a real Jiminy-Cricket peeping Tom? Why is he spurting his love juice into a bowl?
So, I don't think that there was a Jiminy-Cricket. I think there was a Jiminy-Cricket, just not in...
Not an actual giant cricket.
Yeah, just not in that context.
There was a Jim pervert.
I think his brain has twisted what he went through to help deal with what he went through.
I did some digging on his past, and I couldn't find out if anything really nasty had happened to him, but I do know that his parents liked to drink and may have beaten the crap out of him quite a few times, which suggests they maybe weren't the most closely supervising of parents.
Yeah.
But like I say, I couldn't find anything more than that, but you do worry for this chap, don't you?
Very much so. I think
yeah.
he unfortunately, very unfortunately, got taken advantage of as a kid, and this is how his brain has learned to deal with it.
Has absolutely protected him here, isn't it, really? So that about sums us up for today. Thank you all for listening. If you would like to do a little probing on us, you can find us on the Twitter at ButItWasAliens. You can find us on Instagram at ButItWasAliensPodcast. We'd love to hear some of your stories. If you have a good one, we may even probe it one day. You can email us on butitwasaliens@gmail.com. If you want to help this podcast grow and support our continued probing for the truth, you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you do, we may even read it out on the show. If you'd like to leave us a less star-filled review, feel free to do that via email. We want to have those good reviews on iTunes to help us renovate extraterrestrial towers into a fortress capable of the deepest probing. Probe towers, if you will, or like BT towers, but with an E. ET towers. Any other suggestions?
Saucer skyscraper.
Saucer skyscraper.
That sounds quite shit.
Alien Avenue?
Saucer Street.
But then we need a whole street rather than a block.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. You know, like...
Abduction Alley?
Nah, I can't think of anything else.
Extraterrestrial tent? Extraterrestrial teepee?
I don't want to know what goes on in the teepee.
We pitch tents, yo.
Do them probe. Nah, I can't think. Done. This,
Extraterrestrial towers it is.
This episode has kind of
Yeah, we've kind of ended a little bit mellow here. Apologies for this.
drained me of my creative juices.
We'll pick you back up next week, y'all. Today, I've been Kevin the Grey. He continues to be Granville Moonwalker. And remember, if in doubt, hashtag probe.
Hashtag probe!
Probe. For show.
Do you got a fresh pair of panties on? 'Cause we gonna probe. The Extraterrestrial Podcast where we suck a dick.